Happy springtime. I'm Brigitte Maassen for Senior Moments. The long, long winter is over, so get outside and enjoy the smells, sounds, and sight of the season. And when you come home, take a rest and watch Senior Moments. Senior Moments covers events, activities at senior centers in Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area such as the Ann Arbor Senior Center, Turner Senior Resource Center, the Pittsfield Senior Center, and the Ann Arbor Community Center. Also, the show provides valuable information for seniors at such issues on health, wealth, finance, and entertainment. Senior Moments is a monthly show. It premieres on the last Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. and it returns 10 times a week at CTN Channel 16. Please check out our website, a2gov.org/CTN for the playback schedule. Also, you can watch the show on YouTube. Please log on to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to view current and archived shows. So stay tuned to Senior Moments and stay healthy to enjoy your April. Hi, this is Brigitte Maassen, host of Senior Moments. For March show, we interviewed Ritchie Coleman, Public Safety Community Coordinator in Pittsfield Township, talking about identity theft and fraud. The issues discussed in this interview is so important for seniors nowadays that we could not cover it in one 30-minute show. So for this April enrollment of Senior Moments, we are showing the last part of the interview. So now, take a look at the second segment. When you get suspicious emails or phone calls, what should we do?
And the thing that they make it sound, particularly when they call.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing about social media. If your site's not private,
they know everything about you.
They know everything about you.
The names, everything.
And
yes.
they can start right from the start calling you
Johnny,
by your name.
you're whatever.
Calling you by your
right.
name.
Yes.
And one of the things that has been really tragic that we've seen is that particularly with the grandparents scam.
Yes.
And I want to spend a little time on that because
I have gotten them too.
This is the scary part, that when you don't have a private social media site and you've got video of your children and your grandchildren and everybody online, now with these AI devices, they can capture just enough of that voice.
Oh, yes, I know.
They can capture the voice and then recreate Johnny or Jen or whoever it might be, whatever name they want to use, is now in trouble. And we need you to send money right away because you're hearing that voice and you're starting to panic as a grandparent or parent.
Yes.
And it's so important to have passwords.
I know. That's the one thing.
Make sure that you have a password with your family members who travel, who are out and about and might be somewhere and just like, okay, are they okay? I haven't heard from them. And if this person who's on the phone tells you, I need to have your husband or your significant other get on the phone as well, have them call, because what they're doing is now forcing you not to call the person they're inquiring about that needs help.
Right.
So if anybody ever calls them with this scam and it sounds like it's, wait a minute, this is something wrong with this. I just talked to this person.
Yeah, right.
Hang up on them.
Yes.
Hang up on them.
Definitely.
Don't fall prey to it.
No.
And because we've had millions of dollars because they've gone to the stores, and last year I had this happen twice.
Even went to the bank,
They've gone to the bank and they've withdrawn monies. And we have a lot of our banking institutions now that are aware of the types of scams and frauds that are occurring, particularly if someone comes in multiple times to get cash because they're going to, they need, and the tellers are now, they don't go into the details, but do you need help? Is everything okay? To engage in a conversation that they repeatedly coming back. And a lot of times they will say, well, I need to send some money to. As soon as they say send some money to, that's the red flag for them.
Right.
And they will ask, do you need help? Please don't fall prey to a scam. If you're sending going to go get an gift cards, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Walmart.
Yes.
You're going to get a gift card.
Yes.
They're going to tell you, don't hang up the phone because I'm going to send the police now because you're in trouble and they're going to be in trouble. And they don't want you to hang up. So
Oh, yeah,
literally,
sure.
you're in the bank, but you're still on the phone with these guys.
Right. To give
Most
them
of the
time for the
they're
police to come.
overseas,
Right.
They're somewhere
Yes.
they're not anywhere close near.
Right.
And they want the 16 digits. As soon as you give them the 16 digits on the card and the 3-pin access code,
Oh boy.
that money's
That's it.
gone.
Oh, sure. That money
It's
is
gone
gone.
instantly. You can't get that back.
Yeah.
And so they don't use the, used to do the telegrams and Western going
Oh yeah, I
to
know.
get
It was much safer.
to transfer monies. And they had pauses on that. But now, if they ask you to get gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's gone immediately. And that's why we have to make sure that anytime that these types of calls that come in, you want to be weary of, wait a minute, I just talked to my loved one. They're okay.
Right.
And who are you again? And you're listening to this voice and it's going on and just hang up on them. And then when you see on your caller ID the number calling back, block it.
Yes.
Learn how to block numbers on your phone. It already went to the silent phase. If you have unknown calls being blocked, you want that to stay there and not being able to be accessed by these callers who will get all that information from your social media site that's public and not private. Public and not private.
And then, you know, we are learning that the Federal Trade Commission has compiled national data report, ID theft and fraud. I think you brought that up earlier.
Yes,
from nationwide, yeah.
And particularly because there's two separate categories. With identity theft, when someone harvests your personal information, and when there was an attempt with my personal information that went to my employer, as well as that came to me, and your son who also received the same thing, with someone who has gotten access to enough data to file for unemployment.
Yes.
And so when they submit that through the systems, the employer has to verify as well as you have to verify. It's a shocker for the employers
Yeah, I
because
know.
you're working full time, or like in my position, working
Yeah.
part time. I haven't filed for unemployment, so they automatically deny it. And some employers, as we were saying, are concerned. Like, are you trying to double dip? What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when
yeah.
we have to find out, no, this is a part of a scam or fraud. And someone at some point has harvested your social security number, your home address, your name, middle name, last name, all of that information in order to submit that application. And that's when you have to put the blockers on.
Right.
And you've got Experience, TransUnion, and all of the
Right.
bodies
Yeah.
that can help
Equinix, yeah, yeah,
block
right, right.
and Equifax to
Yes.
block your personal information from being harvested.
Yes.
Now, Michigan is one of 10 states, there might be more now, that have given consumers of Michigan the ability to freeze their credit.
I did.
And that's so important to do because you will all automatically, when you file a police report, which is so important, when you become a victim of identity theft, you want to immediately file a police report. Contact the local law enforcement agency.
Good.
Because that police report number is a part of the verification for those entities that all of a sudden they've opened up credit cards and they don't know it's you. That it's not you until you say, wait a minute, I'm a victim of identity theft. Here's the police report number, date and time it was filed.
Yes.
Because they're going to assume that's you because you've opened up a credit card application and they've approved credit and now you're not paying.
Now I feel good that I have everything frozen.
Yes. Freeze your credit. You can lift it if you need to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But then
I
put
have
it
done
back.
that too. Right.
You can put it back.
Yes.
And that's so important to protect your information. But it's also important to get a copy of your credit report. These three agencies, they all collectively get your information.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you get the credit report, you will be able to say, this is not me, and file a dispute so that you can specifically make sure that you're in control of your credit history.
Okay.
And once they got the police report number with the three bureaus, they verify that you are not the person that has opened up these fraudulent accounts. You're not being held responsible. It also makes sure that it's not impacting your credit score.
Right.
So those are critically important to make sure that we remember to do those.
Right.
But don't go alone with this.
No,
Don't
no,
go.
no.
Don't try to do it alone.
No,
Please,
no, no, no.
please.
Yeah, no, no.
Call
Always
and get that police report.
Okay.
Yes.
We have to really kind
Yes.
of make sure. Okay.
Yes.
And then could you tell us the website and contact information, how we can learn about the scams and frauds?
I will. And one last thing
Yes.
before I go into the detail of that, because
Right.
this particular romance scam has become huge
I have heard this. Yes.
nationwide. And the FBI just submitted a report and an alert. It's called pig butchering, which is kind of an interesting name.
Right.
But the FBI is reporting it's a romance scam. And the story and the story that was put up on their YouTube channel is an interview with an individual who lost $500,000
I heard that. Yes. Yes.
to this victimization of romance. I want to date you, and this may go further, but I need you to invest because I need to be able to get there. But can you invest in some of these projects that I'm doing so when I get there, we can be okay? He withdrew all of those funds from his 401k, his retirement, his savings account, because he thought that this was real, that he was going to have this relationship with this person. But the way he was submitting money to the scammers, cryptocurrency and the things that they were
that's
using
sad.
to get
Right.
him, and he was believing as a widower and alone
Right.
that he was going to have someone in his life that was going to be important for him.
Right.
He lost all of that money and with no ability to get it back.
Right.
The FBI was tracking these individuals overseas, and they called him. Stop sending money. You're a victim of this. And they're calling it pig butchering. And in the presentation, I actually, as I share this with other crime prevention personnel, I've got links to the story, but also the organizations that have really looked at these romancing scams. And it's so important to talk about them because we have a lot of seniors who are lonely.
Sure. Yeah.
We're online.
Yeah.
We see this information coming about that we're interested in, and someone's interested in us. And the social media provides that platform for ongoing dialogue, engaging information, and particularly photographs that aren't at all what they say
Real.
they are.
Right.
They're not at all. And so that's what's so important about why you need to make sure that you don't fall prey to those individuals. Now, there is one thing that I also wanted to share as we get ready to talk about the resources. Some of the personal phone calls and things that I've received from scammers. And I think that this is something for me that I'm going to play this for you because this call came in and it went to it was in the blocked phone call list.
Or blocked.
And when I opened it up, the voicemail that they left, it actually has the number that it came from out of Japan. Let me play for you what they said in this message.
Hi, this is Alicia. Thanks for being a Consumers Energy customer. Since new energy policy has passed, the local and federal government is giving homeowners with Consumers and DTE rebates of up to $2,000 to support Michigan's solar program. It won't cost you a penny out of pocket to switch to solar, and they'll pay you to do it since it supports our new mandate. To see if your home qualifies, press 1.
That's one of the scams.
I have gotten that.
You've gotten that call?
Yes.
And here's what's interesting, because that voice, probably, I would say 99.9% that is AI generated.
Oh, I would believe, yeah.
Because in the voice, in the text message of that call, there's a lot of broken English. The voice is very different. And so when you see the differences of those two, you can tell clearly that this is a part of the scam. This is a part of the fraud, that they're encouraging you to get involved. And a lot of times, because I'm involved in the research on this,
Right.
some of those calls that come in, I will hover over it or do the zip code. You know, I had one that came out of Russia, but the zip code came out of Ghana. And I was like, this is incredible how you can go from location to location and server to server
Right.
to bounce it to get access to this. So when they do the auto dialing or ghost VoIP calling, which means that they're using like a Google telephone number, that you can sign up for a Google number and it doesn't trace back to your real number. So a lot of these scammers use Google. They use these free telephone services to create a number that does not trace back to the actual caller.
I see.
So some of the resources that we have that residents can get access to for these types of services that are so important for us all is the AARP. Fraud Watch with AARP for me has been so important. And I actually, here's the AARP bulletin.
Yes, I get that.
So they have Fraud Watch articles in their bulletins. We also have a Michigan branch of the AARP, and they have a speakers bureau, and at some point I'm going to participate, as well as with a number of the calls that I've already been on, is to assist with some of the presentations to help with the information. But the AARP is a really valuable resource for seniors. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC.gov, is another resource that has information in real time about scams and fraud. We also use the Consumer Protection Division, the Better Business Bureau, that also tracks and monitors scams and frauds. We also really focus on how do we make sure with our own state, our Attorney General's office has a Consumer Affairs Division. And in my presentation, I had the hyperlinks as well as QR symbols to go to all of these sites for reliable information about how to not be a victim of a scam or fraud.
We learned so much. I did, and I hope the viewers as well will benefit, definitely from this program. So I don't know if we let anything out, and but anyway, if you feel like there's anything else you want to add to this, or you think we covered pretty much everything?
I think we've covered the basics of what we want to do with this part.
Right.
At some point, we'll do part two.
Right.
That I can get into some more details about specific areas.
But this is
particularly as it
helpful.
relates to phones, because I want to be able to have screenshots that will be up to see how do you get into those settings, how do you make those changes to these devices.
Oh, would be
That's so
fantastic.
important to be able to see them, so you know how to make the changes.
What to do, because sometimes you're clueless, because the technology is so advanced that you feel like, okay, what do I do? Even when you get a new car, it takes a while to get used to it.
Absolutely.
So anyway, but also, I want to thank you so much for again coming, and it was a pleasure meeting you as well.
It was my pleasure,
and,
absolutely.
So we had Ritchie Coleman, who is a Public Safety Community Coordinator in Pittsfield Township.
Yes.
Thank you so much again for sharing all your knowledge, and it's going to be so valuable, and I learned so much today.
Thank you so
very,
much.
very much.
And then one last tip, if I can encourage everyone, if you have a social media site, make it private.
Okay.
Don't let your personal information or your family members' information be harvested.
I need to talk to
Make
some
it
family
private.
members to see if they did. I don't do social media, so I'm okay already.
You're great.
I don't have to worry.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on Senior Moments. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Brigitte Maassen, and I wish you a happy spring.